Hello and welcome to class. It's week 3 and we're moving on to a new topic. If you're present and ready to get started, please raise your hand. Okay, it looks like everybody is here and ready to go, so let's get started with week 3. The human relations movement began roughly 80 years ago, and that's our key era for this week's reading. So why don't we take a look at where we have come after 80 years of management practice and research. One of the outcomes of human relations movement, of course, was the concept that employees should be more empowered. As you can see, there's still a gap between theory and practice. So let's take a look at the assignment. First of all, your to-watch list has expanded a little bit. I've added a few more videos, and this is going to deal with a topic that's called the literature review. Now, this is not directly related to what we're doing this week, but in a way it is, because most of what we're doing in this class is reviewing literature from various periods in management history and trying to tie them together and get a more complete picture of the management theories and how they've evolved from earlier times. So if you go to your Start Here section of the class, you'll see an article or a video on peer-reviewed journal articles, which hopefully you've looked at by now. But I've also added for this week a video on the literature review, which I put together. The literature review, by the way, is one of the required chapters of a dissertation, and depending on the subject, can take several dozen pages to several hundred pages. So it's important to choose what your topic is going to be, because your literature review has to cover that topic. There's also a video from Texas A&M University discussing the same concept, the literature review, what it is, how you go about writing it. And finally, there's the article that I based my review on, which was the original guide to writing a dissertation literature review, and that'll be in the form of a written document. So all those are available to you. Now, before you get too worried about all this, the next short section I'm going to talk a little bit about using the library to not only select the articles that you're required to read, but also using it to find related literature. So as you try to understand more about a particular topic, you can find ways of using the library search facilities. So what we've been doing so far is using the titles that I've supplied and the authors. And when you go into the EBSCOhost database, you simply copy from the assignment and paste it into the search field and hit search, and that brings up the article. Just a single article, because your search is so specific. You're just looking for that one article, which is highly effective. That's all you're going to have to look at. And when this comes up, of course, all you do is click on the PDF full text, and that downloads or allows you to download the document onto your computer so you can look at it another time or print it out, as the case may be. But this doesn't really give you much else besides simply that specific article. It doesn't really tell you anything else about work that's been done on this particular topic or things related to this particular topic. So a couple of ways to approach that is to click on the title itself. So by clicking on the title, this brings you to the screen which shows you the abstract as well as the journal that it came from and keywords and subject areas. Now, these are all important because you can click on any of those in addition to the authors and get more information. What we're going to look at first is clicking on the title of the journal, International Journal of Organizational Innovation. And that brings us to this screen where you get more information about the journal itself. But what we're really interested in here and what I want to show you is over here to the right side of the screen, you'll see the issues. This means that you have access to the complete journal, the volume of the journal, with all the articles, not simply the one that we're looking at, all the articles within that particular issue. And the library right now has issues from 2009 to 2014. Okay. So one of the things that you need to become kind of familiar with are the journals publishing in the area that you are interested in. So let's take a look at 2000. And here I picked up I skipped a screen. You get to choose which volume you want to look at. I picked up Winter of 2014. And what we're seeing here is just the first of 2 of 18 articles within the journal. And you can see as you look through the various titles, there's a variety of different things that have been published in this journal. And you might find things that interest you because it's part of the stream of literature related to scientific management, if you will, or something related to the general topic that you're working with. Journals generally publish articles that are all related to their topic, in this case, international organizational innovation. Okay. So if you're interested in that particular topic and things that people might be doing research in, this would be a journal that you come back and kind of scan through to see what they have. And it's great because you have from 2009 to 2014 all the volumes that were published in this particular journal. And many of our top journals are carried in the same fashion in the library, in the database that the library has, so you can see actually the complete journal. I would recommend that as you progress with your degree, you become familiar with the journals that do the publishing in the area that you're interested in pursuing. But in addition to looking at the complete journal, you can also select one of the keywords or one of the subject areas. Here I'm just going to demonstrate what happens if we click on Taylorism, based upon Frederick Taylor's work and people's view of Taylorism. And this brings up 17 different journal articles, in this case from different journals, that have related keywords with the topic of Taylorism. So as you're starting to kind of prepare your papers and prepare your discussion posts, it's important not just to select and read the article that's been recommended, but to understand the relationship of that article to previous research and prior research and related research. That's the way you become an authority in a particular area. And this will help you as you begin to think about how you would do a literature search. Okay, let's get back to this week's discussion. Again, the topic for the week is the human relations school of thought in management theory. And the discussion question, based on the literature, as you might expect, describe the theories that have been mentioned in the literature, as well as how relevant you think these theories are in today's management practice. How have these theories been moved forward, and in what areas of management do we see these theories reflected? All right. So the keys to success for this week. First of all, whenever you're preparing to do a paper or do your initial discussion post, you use the assigned readings not as the end-all, but as the beginning point. So you read those and you find out, using the methods that I've shown you, how other things are related. So you read them, but you also look at how they're related to other articles. Then, before you start writing, choose the approach you plan to take. I think if you look at this week's discussion topic in a broad context, you can see there might be many different ways you could approach this particular topic. So you want to have a plan. Hopefully your plan is brilliant. Then you go back into the library and look for literature that will support your particular approach. If you've decided to take this particular approach to answer this discussion topic, I mean, not everybody should say exactly the same thing. There's different ways to approach it, but you need to support your particular approach with the literature that discusses that. So it's back to the library, back into what we used to call the stacks, but now it's simply back into the database, looking for things that will support your particular approach to the discussion topic or the paper. And finally, since all these classes, all these assignments are tied together, look ahead at the future assignments. Look at what you're going to be required to do in week 4. Look at what's coming in week 5. And you'll see there's a stream and connectedness, number one, between the discussions and the papers, but also from week to week as we kind of progress through. This is chronologically ordered, but as we progress through the different management theories, you'll see that there's a connection between the various eras or periods of time and then the theories. So it's important to understand what's coming in the future to make use of what you're doing right now. So this should provide you with appropriate amount of work for this week. Again, watch the videos. I think they'll be very helpful to you. And as usual, if you have any questions or comments, you have a number of ways to get in touch with me. So until next time, goodbye and good luck.